When you see all these championship trophies, what does it mean to you?
Well, I think I've always said that that's the blueprint for what we're trying to do. I don't think we're ever going to, replicate, nor are we trying to replicate any of those teams. But I think that it's a blueprint of the hard work, of the connection that those teams had, the attention to detail, being able to perform in high intensity environments, making plays in critical situations. That everything that I knew for 3 of those, anyways, is what we're trying to replicate and have a blueprint for.
If you can instill like 1 point from our championship teams to your team, what would that point be?
I just think being great in understanding how these games come down to a lot of them situations, the end of the half, the end of the game, being able to execute. You see some of these Super Bowls lately, they're close. Can you go down there? Can you drive down and kick a field goal to tie the game or win the game? Can you make a play in overtime, right? All the critical situations in the red zone, short yardage, just those things that a lot of these games come down to.
You sound like a football coach.
I know, unfortunately, that's what I'm thinking.
You played in 4 Super Bowls. How's that experience playing in those Super Bowls? How's that going to help you?
Again, it may help. I think I'm just going to try to make sure that this team is ready. Again, I've talked about having them embrace the preparation and enjoy everything that we do. Enjoy the process, enjoy the execution, enjoy what we do, where we do it, and who we get to do it with. So we had a good time, on those Super Bowl teams. We had a good time, but we knew when it was time to work that we would work. And I think that that's something else that we're trying to take through this.
When do you sit your guys down and say, hey guys, these are the things, the do's and don'ts of Super Bowl week? When do you have that conversation with them?
That conversation will happen, this week, but it'll also happen when we get there. I think that there's got to be some time for them to enjoy themselves, for them to be able to take part in some of the things that happen out there and enjoy it with their teammates, but there's also a reason that we're going out there. So those things will happen early on in the week, and then hopefully we can focus on the football game.
I see our boy Tom Brady, his statue is out there, and it just reminds me of when we used to play on scout team. We used to put on the Ed Reed jersey or the Ray Lewis, and we used to just kick Tom's butt and go out there and just own them.
Well,
what do you think about this statue?
We'll spit on that. But that basically replicates Tom's mobility in the pocket is a statue. But again, that was what the culture that we had. We had guys that love football, and we had a lot of guys that would rather not stand on the sidelines and say, hey, let me go be a part of practice. Let me get my conditioning in. And those are the things, again, that we're trying to remember and try to use as a guide to help us build something here.
Mike, it's amazing talking to you as a coach and being able to play with you as a player, because you were very similar to the thing that you're now, but you were just a lot sillier and a little bit more immature back then, but you're the same guy.
Yeah, I don't think you can change. I mean, it's impossible to change who you are. It's just you're trying to now, I'm responsible for a lot more people, and I'm trying to instill with a staff and the players and everybody around. It's not just me, you, Teddy, and Willie, and Big C, and Ty, and all those guys. And you just have to realize that you're responsible for a lot more people. So I'm still myself, but also, there's been a little polish to it.
When Mr. Kraft called you, what was your reaction when he picked up the phone and called you?
Just to have an opportunity. Again, this is, when you get presented with the opportunity, you have to just press pause a little bit, take a look at the situation that you're getting into, and the quarterback and what everything looks like and the path to success. Not that these jobs, they're hard to come by, but when he made that phone call, this was something that I really, really wanted.
Your defense is coming out saying that no one respects them. It sounds like our defense in
like
2003 and 2004. I was wondering, did you put that in their ear?
I don't. I mean, again, I'm like, guys, wait, just whatever you guys want to do and whatever they need. I talk to them about playing defense with a chip on your shoulder.
But it's real, though.
Yeah, and I think you have to. I mean, I think all good defenses have to play that way. And if that means that they play together and then they play with energy and physicality, then that's what I want them to do.
What is the one thing that you took from Coach Belichick that's a non-negotiable? that you said, you know what, I'm taking this from
It's
Coach
hold the
Vrabel?
best players the most accountable. I do believe that. And I think that as soon as you set that standard, it makes it real easy to coach everybody else. And it gives guys an understanding of what's expected of them. And I will always appreciate that from Bill. And I think that once you do that, the players also appreciate it, that there's nobody that's off limits or, well, man, he's mad at this player, so he's going to get on the practice squad player at the same position. I've never tried to do that. I don't think that really works.
So both your parents are teachers,
Well,
right?
yeah, they were. Yeah, my dad was a coach, so.
So we used to always call you how smart you was, or you must have got it from your parents.
Well, with my parents being educators, an only child, right? So when you're an only child, you're spoiled, but I always tell everybody that I appreciate the fact that my dad showed me the value of hard work, right? Doing landscape, lugging mulch, putting grass down, but also working in sports, but also the value of a team and how strong a team can be. And so when he would, I'd go to basketball practice, I'd be running around, and I'd see those teams, and those teams would come to our house for, oddly enough, Super Bowl parties and or holidays, and just the way that those teams interacted, and just the power of a team and the power of a group is what they really taught me.
You seem to really have a fond appreciation for veteran players. You look at Stephon Diggs, you have a special relationship with him, Mac Hollins, these guys. What is it about these veteran players that you brought in this year that makes them the right fit for this team?
Yeah, I think that they can still play, right? You have to still be able to play. You can't just be a great guy in the locker room. You have to still be able to contribute on the field. We know that. But I think that they all bring a different personality. They bring, but we talked about this earlier in the summer. I've embraced the idea that myself and players can have different personalities, but what we can't have is different mindsets. We have to have the same mindset, but these guys have an energy to them. They care deeply about the team. They practice, and they're there. That you hear them, you feel them, and there's a lot of guys like that. So we're just trying to get the right guys in here and just balance that between different personalities.
It's amazing to watch you at work because you don't see coaches embracing players, hugging them, getting actively involved in drills, and that's something that you do. And people ask me, like, why is he always it? He loves it. He loves football, and that's the way you connect with your players.
Well, it is. It's a good connection. I have to have something. I feel like if I have something at each position, there's going to be other positions I'm going to have a lot more knowledge and appreciation for than others. But if I go into the wide receiver room and I talk about a release versus press, why is that any different than a pass rush room? Like, if I'm not looking at the guy's hands, he's going to be able to stab me. And if I don't, get parallel and get by the guy, I'm not going to be able to stack him, just like I would be talking to a pass rusher or the O-lineman. I feel like when I go in there and I have some knowledge of what they're supposed to be doing, that's an immediate connection for me during the season when we don't have a whole lot of time. And but we've already put the groundwork in about their families and about things that are important to them. But also, they want to know how they can get better. Like, that's what players want. They want to know, can I trust this person? Are they knowledgeable? And does he care about me?
You wanted Drake to be more of a leader this year. How has he done?
Well, I think he's improved. And again, we're always, the road to success is always under construction. There's things that I have to continue to improve on, and Drake knows that. And the leadership from a young player who's conscious of that and knowing, like, how does this fit? And the role of the starting quarterback that leads the team and the franchise, those are steps that have to be grown. And, all quarterbacks, I think, go through it. I think I went through it as a young head coach of the impact that we have on everybody in this organization.
How do you stay so connected to these players on a personal level?
Well, I think it was intentional. When you turn the roster over the way that we did, and we know that every year in the National Football League is different, but when you bring a bunch of guys in that are new, I think you have to be intentional to a point. We didn't go out. We had a mini camp, and we didn't go out on the field. We stayed inside, and it was intentional about team building and getting to know these guys, because I think that's important. I think it's critical to know what people's background are, what the family history is, things that they care about. Because if I care about them, and then I'm going to care about things that they are important to them. And it went great. These guys shared. Everybody was open. And, again, you have to go and play well. But I think that there's more to it off the field, in the locker room. I hold that place sacred. We're all protective of the people that we put in there. And then the players, obviously, it's their job to police the things that go on in there.
And last but not least, you got to give a shout out to your boss. Now, I'm not talking about Mr. Kraft. I'm talking about Jen, right? All the crap that she puts up with you, bro.
Yeah, 30 years we've known each other. And, she's become the butt of a lot of jokes on Saturday night. So I start the Saturday night meeting, and somehow she makes it in there, and these guys are like, I can't believe this guy does it, but they keep laughing. And I try to keep them light, and then we lock in. But none of us can do this without the support of our families, the toll that it takes on our kids. Carter, and Carter is fiercely loyal as anybody I've ever met. And the excitement on his face after that game, going to the Super Bowl, his dad gets fired and he wants to fight everybody.
Yeah.
And we can't do that, And so to have him sharing this success and have Tyler sharing this success means a lot.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.